making $298 trading gold. Welcome on into the recap. Let's get into it. So this is the time of year, or time of the year, one of the four times of the year that we tend to see, at least in my eyes, less interest in stocks as we approach earnings season. And now that becomes underway as we had Netflix yesterday. And I move myself more towards things like the metals, maybe like the Bitcoin kind of situation, maybe a little bit of oil, that liquid gold. Just because I don't want to mess around with earnings. And when I have more of a swing trade approach, when earnings is a week away or 2 weeks away, like that shortens my runway of the trade. And so I can't let it work. You know what I mean? Could be opportunities, but I tend to stay away. So XAUUSD is what we traded. We trade this one on one account, not copy. This is on a non-stock account, so I only trade on one of those. I technically have two, but one's a 5K that I use for experimentation purposes to test out a trade copier months ago. Now I just use the 25K account there. So we made 298 on this account. We're pretty close to passing it. It's just been kind of like we take 3 steps forward and we take 2.5 steps back. 3 steps, you know what I mean? That's kind of how it's been. But I'll get there when I get there. I don't really care. It is what it is. So here's the trade setup. I was watching this one yesterday. I literally had dinner and I was like, oh, no. I finished up work for the day and I drew this line. So it was like, I don't know, what time was this? Around like 1600. I don't know what the hell that is. Whatever that is, like 4 or 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern time, somewhere in there. I draw this line and I go, okay, we have an area clearly of resistance on gold. Now, I think I talked about gold in a recent video, or I looked at it the other day, whether I was in a video or not, I don't even know. I was looking at it and I said, hey, like, check this out, right? By the way, I think I mentioned it saying like, we're looking now because we're getting into earnings season. We're looking over here maybe. And, gold, I just drew the wedge in. I'm not trading the wedge. In theory, could I have played that? Yeah, I guess. But like, that's not really my strategy perfectly to a T. So I'm like, I don't do that. But now I'm just looking at the bigger picture and I go, okay, obviously we got a trend to the upside on the higher time frame. This is a 1-day time frame. So each of the candles are 1 day. Obviously we got a trend to the upside. We have, you can draw this wedge, okay, we're breaking the wedge and now we're pushing to the upside. This looks interesting, kind of breaking it. You could even just say, okay, screw the bottom of the wedge and just say we've got a downtrend that you could roughly draw in. So yeah, we're kind of breaking that. And also, if you don't care about the downtrend, because obviously trends, you can make them look good, make them look bad. Every trend can be valid, can also not be valid, depends on how you look at it, how you draw it. You can also just say, okay, well, screw the trends, screw the wedge, all that shit. Just go and say, okay, well, this is an area that we were rejecting a couple of times. We got up here once, twice, did it again, hit it, and then pulled back, but still made higher lows, then broke through it. Now we're breaking through. We got some momentum on the bigger time frames on gold. So if I don't see a setup on the bigger time frames, but we have momentum on the bigger time frames, can I find a setup on a smaller time frame? I will probably not ever really trade the 5-minute time frame on gold, just too choppy. Like look at these candlesticks. But go to the 1 hour and I'd be interested. 1 hour and up. 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly, I guess monthly you could say, but I probably would never trade the monthly. So then I see that, I go, okay, great. The alert goes off. I'm sitting there, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. I don't know what time it was. I enter the trade on this candle right here. I enter at around 27.48. I can actually double check the exact entry price. 27.48.17. I was 17 cents off. So see, I got that beautiful memory. So I enter on that area right here. This was a 1.7 to 1 risk reward. Now, why did I target where I targeted? To be honest, it kind of was, I don't want to say it's random. Obviously, it's 1.5 or better is what I'm looking for. But I go and I say, okay, 27.60, kind of a psychological level. I go 27.59. Sounds good to me. Target that happens to be a 1.71 to 1, 1.71 to 1 risk reward. And also it gets up into, I mean, you're kind of splitting hairs at this point, but if I go to the 4 hour time frame, that would put you right up into like these highs pretty much. So I was like, let's just, in case we have resistance at these highs again, let's just target that area, which is exactly where I targeted, just below 27.60. So how much do I care about this? I don't know. The longer time, the farther back this is, the less it matters to me. But still something I think about or I utilize. And also looking at the volume profile, I knew that getting up into this area, there could be some resistance that's also going to be up into the highs here. So let's sell before those highs and then see if we can get a new setup at some point on the 4 hour, 1 hour, whatever daily time frame in the coming days and weeks to potentially play it for more if it continues to present itself. And that's the idea. So this was taken on one $25,000 account that I trade anything that is not stocks on. So if it's like indices, if it's oil, gold, silver, Bitcoin, pretty much that's it. That'll be taken on this account. The plan is same on this account as the others, is once I get payouts, my plan is to take the payouts, stack them until the payouts can pay for a $200,000 account, which is the largest I think you can buy on this platform or with this place. Do that. I don't know if I will though, because now if you want to leave the video, please go leave the video. This is gonna be kind of like a rant based on prop firms. I think it's worth talking about because this space is a really interesting space, and I should mention it again because people always will have this question or they will get themselves into things that they probably shouldn't have, and I'm just going through it myself, and so I'm paying for the experience. So obviously, I'm gonna, whatever is gonna happen to me, I'll talk about it, and if I make mistakes or if I have regrets or things that I would have done differently, I would tell you. That's the plan. So that is with one of one. That's this prop firm right here. They recently had some shit going on where they weren't paying people out on time. This is the guy who's I guess the owner, which he's a young guy. To a lot of people, that's gonna rub them the wrong way. To me, I was he seemed interesting because he wanted to shake up the space about a year or two ago whenever they started it. So I gave him a try. And I haven't necessarily been super disappointed, but there's been, I guess I should say I have been actually kind of disappointed with what I've seen go on in terms of people not getting payouts. I wasn't affected by that because I didn't request a payout during that time. But people who have been requesting them, I've seen some problems. The issue that I want to get into, though, is that there's been some rule changes here that have kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So if you dive deeper into this, if you go into trading conditions, I think it is, trading rules for crypto, trading rules for stocks. I don't believe they have stocks anymore. Maybe they do. If they do, cool. But here's the thing. So they added this rule. I'm going to pop off the screen so you can see it better. They added this rule only on the funded stage of the supply, which is okay, whatever. But crypto positions cannot be held for more than 24 hours. They cannot be held through major events. Yes, obviously it's kind of I would never hold through those things anyway. But I mean, I guess it's possible that I would have a position on. Yeah, that would be a swing trade that could hold through that, I guess. You wouldn't get breached, but they will not count towards your profits if you make money. Kind of stupid. Stocks, it says right here, you cannot hold them for more than 24 hours. So this is now a completely just day trading prop firm only. This is that you cannot swing trade here, essentially. That's what it tells me. So now I guess in theory, if there's some things you can technically swing trade, I guess the metals, you can technically swing trade oil, I guess, maybe the indices, I guess, because it's not technically stocks. But I mean, that just completely lowers the amount of trades. So I have an account. They're not going to refund me the account because all sales are final per the, I guess, contract you sign. But I will not be interested in buying a $200,000 account with them because of this. So the idea is use it when I have trades that I can trade whatever they have that meet my criteria. Get a payout or 2, 3, whatever. I think they refund you your entry fee over time. Cool. But use somebody else who will allow me to swing trade these things, because swing trading crypto is something that I will consistently do, or not consistently, but I'll do it a couple times per year at least. And then I don't trade stocks with them anyway, so I have a different prop firm for that. But it's okay, well, that's dumb, because I had decent profits on Bitcoin. It was maybe 10% of my profits from last year, maybe more. Maybe 20% of my profits of last year were on Bitcoin. And most of those were swing trades that were held for more than 24 hours. So maybe not. I have to go back and check, but that's kind of dumb. So that's the thing. Just got to make sure you're aware of the rules and stuff. But yeah, and then at that point too, I'd say if I go through all this and I'm you know what, to be honest, dude, it makes no sense. Just go fund a Webull futures account or a Tradeovate futures account. Boom. I will just do that come the time. But for now I have it, so I'm going to use it. And We'll see. But I think it makes more sense, just kind of running through my head now, to probably just go with a Trade-of-8 futures account and not have to worry about any rules and shit. Just fund it with, probably, I would have to do the math on how much I would have to fund it with to get the same buying power as 25K, and then how much the same buying power as 200K. Obviously, like, you'd think, well, just fund it with 25K and with the same buying power. Yes and no, because of the rules, the drawdown rules, the sizing rules. I would have to figure out what I would be comfortable with sizing wise and how much I would need to put in. Like, that's the whole, reason why prop firms are interesting, because I don't have to take 25K and put it in an account to fund my whatever. I could spend a couple $100 and get access to all this money. Yes, I have some rules, but those rules could, to be honest, could help you because they keep you in line and not let you blow up. But when there's other rules like no swing trading, no 24-hour holds, like, then it's like, okay, well, now is it worth it? Like, no, because I do that. So, like, I don't want to have limitations. But that's the recap. That's the rant. And yeah, I have one open position right now. I can pull it up on Robinhood. Let's see how she's doing. She's continuing to kind of grind and climb higher. My target is up towards 55. So we're past halfway, I think, from my entry. We're about halfway there, little more than halfway. I can probably move my stop loss if we break through, like, with a nice, boner candle today, get about 51, into 52. Then I'll move my stop loss to break even on this one. I can probably move it up at a minimum today, but I'll move it to break even at least, and then we'll kind of roll with that. But they don't have earnings until mid-Feb, so we have about a little bit less than a month, about 4 weeks until their earnings. So I'm good on that. But there's not a lot of stocks that I'm looking at now that I'm like, oh, that chart looks good, and there's no earnings anytime soon. So now we gotta let earnings kind of go past, and then reconsider as time goes on. So that's the idea. But hope that was helpful, and I will see y'all in the next video. The platform, like always, we use to trade or to track all of our trades is TradeZella. Code TC10 saves you 10%. I pay for them every year. They don't give me free TradeZella. Maybe one day they will. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.